All right, bang, bang. Today is Monday, October 28th, Chicago Dog Walk. Guest of the day is Carl because it is a Monday. Carl, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. So Sunday, we will be at Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the game. It's a noon game against the Eagles, 1430 North Meacham Road. We're going to be there drinking some Miller Lite, right?
Come on out and say hello.
Yeah, so it's at the Buffalo Wild Wings, like I said. Miller Lite in 1975. They brewed the first light beer that didn't compromise on taste. They've been doing it ever since. Miller Lite is the original light beer, brewed to have more taste and only 96 calories. I mean, you guys got to come out and hang out with us and kind of ride this wave. Things are bad.
We're all on this boat together.
Yes, and we just, we're going to need to get through, and it's a perfect way to do it. I'm kind of excited to get out to the burbs.
I am. We have a really good relationship with the suburbs around Chicago.
Yeah.
I know our guys are going to show up. The other thing is the ship is sinking, and we're throwing life vests out there. By the way, a Miller Lite in Buffalo wings.
Yeah,
there's nothing more delicious than beer and wings.
Exactly.
Football, so
that's it. That's the Life Fest. Beer and wings. Come on out. Like I said, 1430 North Meacham Road in Schaumburg to watch the game on Sunday. So, how was your Halloween party? Did we do the couples costumes?
we didn't. It was mild. It was mild.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a 1-year birthday party that my wife went to. We had to audible. She was a little under the weather. So that's a nice thing about being married because people are like, oh, you have to do what your wife wants to do. Not necessarily the case. My wife's great at this stuff. She's like, you want to go to this bullshit. I don't even feel well anyway. So, like, why don't you just sit out? I'll put a little costume on.
That's nice.
It's disappointing, I know.
But it's nice that you're in a situation where you could kind of get that luxury, I guess.
Yes, it is very nice. There's a little spin zone on it. We have to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night was a big night in Chicago to go out in Halloween costumes. Possibly the worst rainstorm of how long?
Terrible. It was bad rain, dude. Like, it was bad. I don't want to sound like a pussy, but it was really bad.
It wasn't just a little bit of rain. Like, it was torrential downpour from maybe 4 p.m. till camera guy. What do you think? 1 a.m.?
It was bad. Like, you got to think that, like, Halloween took a huge hit just because of that. A lot of people probably stayed in, They were like, you know what, I don't really like my costume that much anyway. So
that's
I'm
where
just
we
gonna stay
faded
in.
to. We were going to go to the IT bar, the pop-up bar.
Yeah,
and then we kind
replay?
of faded into this, like, well, so.
Have you ever been to one of those?
No.
No, neither have I. I wonder, I heard it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder. I really do wonder how many Halloween parties just kind of, mine took a dump.
Yeah.
Like, I was supposed to go to one and I ended up turning into like a onesie party.
What does that mean?
Like, it just kind of was like, it's raining. Like, everyone's like, let's just take it easy. And I think it just kind of it wasn't. I shouldn't say it took a dump. It was a good time, but it was just kind of like a last minute thing. It wasn't like it wasn't as big as it was previous years. You know what I mean?
And it would have been bigger, but for the weather. Like, the weather just completely prevents it from turning it. Like, if anytime you're throwing a party, you need some circumstance to kind of build it, grow it. Like, once people get there and then it's a good time and then people are texting each other and it's like, yo, you got to come by.
Yes.
And so that's the sign of a good house party is it, like, grows itself. Halloween, bad weather. Now, before we continue with the show, I have an apology, not just to you, Ed, but to the audience.
What's that?
Last week, we brought up Halloween. You were asking me questions about Halloween, and I, as your guest, have the tendency to do this thing where I forget to ask you the question back. Because I'm much more interested in what you have to say, and I'm sure everyone is. You're a huge Halloween guy.
Big fan.
You didn't even get a chance last week to say that you love Halloween.
I'm a big fan of Halloween just because I think if it's done right, I think it's very funny, like it has a wild factor to it. Like I saw in the Chicago Scanner that there was a bar or something, 1534 Belmont or something, and there was a Hulk Hogan. Someone dressed up as Hulk Hogan arguing with the bouncer, trying to get let back into the bar. I like that wild factor. I like that. Barstool always posts those videos of those girls yelling at their boyfriends. I like the fact that it could be, like a wizard versus like a fucking,
But
Stretch Armstrong.
it's your number one holiday.
Yes, it's great.
This is number power ranking Halloween. I had a Christmas. I had a Thanksgiving.
I mean,
there's
drinking
4th
holiday.
of July. 4th of July out there.
Yes, 4th of July is my favorite drinking holiday. Halloween's number 2. But Christmas is like, and Thanksgiving is more so like a family thing to me, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with you.
I categorize the drinking holidays as like Black Wednesday, New Year's Eve, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, and 4th of July.
And when I say I'm with you, I understand your reasoning.
Yes.
Number one's Christmas for me.
Yes.
We don't need to spend time on that, maybe later. But so I'm apologizing because last week when we brought up Halloween, I didn't do a good job of cultivating like your interest. What do you like about it, Ed?
Yeah, no, and it's great. I love the movies, obviously. I think that's what we're going to get into here as well. Obviously, the candy aspect's nice. But I mean,
Movies.
the movies. What are you? Do you like scary movies?
Yes, I like scary movies quickly because you can really do anything with the plot. Like especially now, these good scary movies more are coming out now. It's a genre of sorts. People are doing more with because there's so much you can do with a scary movie. One, but two, scary movies like it brings out that excitement, that emotion. I mean, it's like a drug, like your brain, like you get excited, you get nervous, scared.
Yeah, it makes no sense why you would want to watch something that would prohibit you from getting a good night's sleep that night, but we do it anyways.
Yeah.
Right? We do it anyways. And you were saying that there's a big difference between because obviously, there's the classics, there's, the Jasons, the Freddys, the Michael Myers, and then there's like the new school shit, which is kind of pretty much, I guess, paranormal, we'll say.
Yeah.
There's so it's good. Like I like a lot of the new school movies, but
It's kind of like porn.
why? How, really?
Yeah, like the old like I was watching Halloween, the new one.
Yeah.
And like the old Halloween, I think like maybe 3 or 4 people died, like the original.
Yeah.
And like it was very suspenseful, and the fucking cinematography was like grainy, and you had to use like tricks and stuff. And even though these people are getting killed, like you had to use your there is still a sense of imagination and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like now, scary movies, it's very HD. It's very intense. Like there's so many deaths. There's so much carnage. There's so much. It's like the porn now. It's like so graphic. And
Yeah,
just
it's
like
too,
all
yeah.
the camera angles and just like.
Very
so the
hardcore.
storytelling is a little bit different. Like old porn, it would be like, oh, the boss, like much more into the storyline and stuff. Now it's just fucking.
Yeah. No,
And it's kind of like how these scary, like Halloween. I want to say everybody was dying in the new Halloween. Spoilers, sorry, this came out a year ago.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking dies.
Yeah, there was the slashers for sure. I could see what you're saying was, and I think that was a big con people had was that at one point Michael Myers didn't just kill people at random like he did in that new one.
Yeah.
So I don't know though. Is it necessarily good or is it bad?
I think it's the reaction. It's like the short-term audience. But what do you like about a scary movie? I know you like Child's Play is one of your all-times.
Child's Play is actually low-key a great Chicago movie.
A lot of good L shots.
Great L shots. They have shots. I think it's on the west side in the abandoned house that Chucky blows up.
The opening scene is like on Wabash. They
Yeah.
have like a shootout on Wabash.
Mm-hmm. And then the scene where they, the mom or the babysitter falls out the window.
That's great.
It's a great Chicago, kind of old school building. So yeah, Chucky's good. Obviously, I don't know who I'd probably say Michael's my favorite. Like
He's the scariest.
There was always something to the fucking dudes who would walk.
Right.
Like it was just the people who would walk. I had the haunted house guys on last week. They were big Freddy guys, and Freddy's scary as fuck too.
Yeah,
but
because the nightmare, like coming in your nightmare and not having any control over it's very scary.
Yeah,
Michael and Jason kind of, they have similar.
Yeah, they do.
But I think where Michael's he's just creepier.
I think so because Freddy. I mean, Michael. Yeah, there's something about him that you seemingly couldn't escape him. And he just wasn't as much of a hard ass, Like Jason was just such a fucking big behemoth,
right?
Who was like, oh man, like he's just huge.
Where Michael could be like,
and Michael's
could be
big
anybody.
too.
He'd be like I mean, yeah, he's a big guy, but like sneaky kind of fits in a little bit.
Yes,
more.
Way more. He does I think Jason's he drowns, so he's he had a different complexion, I guess.
Now
he looked different.
I want to ask you because. There are the classics that we all know and love, but like I know late '90s, like you got into the Final Destinations. Like I know you were
those were good.
I know what you did last summer, guy.
Those were awesome. I love those too.
What about Candyman?
Candyman. So I got to rewatch Candyman. I know it all was set in Cabrini Green, and it's another great Chicago.
Did you ever
movie.
do that where you look in the mirror, you close the door, and you say? Candyman. I used to do that. I get so scared.
Did you? Yeah. Then what was the other one? Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary's another one.
Those were all time childhood folklore, right?
Yeah. Urban Legends. Did you watch the movie Urban Legend?
Yes, did watch Urban Legend. That was a good one.
That was when like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sarah Michelle Gellar had their little I
don't
want to call it a beef, but there was like, are you into blondes or brunettes thing? And I know one did Urban Legend, the other one did Scream, obviously.
Well, they were both, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh,
Jennifer,
that's
Sarah
right.
Michelle,
That's right. Jennifer Aniston. No, not Jennifer Aniston.
I forgot who was in Urban Legends, but there was someone who was pretty popular in Urban Legends. But there was there was Scream, and there was just a bunch of them that kind of fell into that category right there. I mean, Scream was awesome too.
Yeah. Scream is so good. Scream is so good that they released it again in theater. I remember when it first came out, and then they like re-released it. They might have released it in October, and then they re-released it in like April because it was that good.
Yeah, it was a legit movie, man. It was scary at the time. Like it almost redefined horror, I guess. From what I'm not like a fucking history savant, but a lot of people say that it kind of redefined like everything.
Power rank the masks: Jason, Scream, and Michael Myers.
I gotta say,
everybody had a Scream mask, right?
Yeah, I'm still going Michael #1, just because the eyes, the eye holes were pretty scary.
Uh-huh.
#2, I would say probably the hockey mask. #3, then I would go Ghostface. How about you?
I'd probably flip it.
Flip it?
Yeah.
Like completely?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Do you think Ghostface is #1?
I mean, I think Ghostface has taken over. Maybe not.
With the blood pump or without the blood pump? Remember that one? That was big on Halloween. The blood pump.
I could be biased because the sweet spot for Halloween is when you're like 12 to 15 years old, maybe 14 years old. And like that was when the Scream mask was at its pinnacle. And I happen to be between the ages of 12 and 14.
Yeah, I was Scream 2 years in a row because I couldn't find my other costume. So
how?
So I got screwed.
Why? What was your other costume?
My other costume was a nerd, and I couldn't find the glasses before I was about to go out, and I had to do it 2 years in a row. And when I was pulling up to hang out with my friends at the park and shoot shaving cream, I visibly saw they were disappointed that I was Scream again.
And they're like,
for the second year in a row.
How old were you when Halloween when you made the transition from candy to Friends?
That's a big transition, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all about when you're gonna you get the needle and the shaving cream and you get the eggs. I think I was in probably 5th or 6th grade. How about you?
Yeah, maybe 7th grade.
Maybe 7th, maybe 6th.
Sixth going into 6th grade was like I remember the last one I had with like my dad, where like we were walking around with like the pillowcase like late at night, where he'd be like, "Hey, you want to go make another run?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go," and we go out and crush it. But you bring up shaving cream and eggs.
Yeah,
I always thought like eggs was for somebody's house, shaving cream was for your buddies. Like if you were getting eggs, like you were really trying to like do some public
damage to people,
public property damage.
Was that a big Southside thing though? Were cops like real hot on that, like around the thing?
No, a lot of self-regulation, older brothers, cousins, and stuff like that.
Interesting, because that was at the park. The cops were they would roll up and they would their trunk was filled with eggs.
Oh,
yeah. The grocery stores weren't selling them. Like it was madness.
I can see that. I got egged. I got drilled in the ribs. I was in 8th grade. I remember it distinctly. We were walking back to my cousin's house, and there's 12 of us, the 6 guys and the 6 girls that hung out in junior high, and we were walking, and this car just comes speeding by. It was the velocity of the car coupled with, it wasn't just throwing the egg. The car was probably traveling 35, 40 miles an hour, and the guy just caught me right in the ribs. And then my buddies were making fun of me because they're like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "No."
Dude, similar situation. I was just walking, same thing at the park, and I felt a big crack onto my wrist, and I turned around, and I was like, all right, who the fuck just hit me with a tree branch? I was sure, like, it felt exactly like someone cracked me. And I look, and I see paint and, like, goo. Got fucking drilled by a paintball.
No, it's so embarrassing. There's nothing you could do about it, and it's still embarrassing.
Yes, and that's when things went too far, though. Did paintball become a thing there? Because when cars would just pull up and just shoot everyone at the park, it was just like, dude, you ruined it.
Yeah, we had my one Polish buddy whose parents were like just straight off the boat from Poland. He was like the most reckless one. He always had like hey, you want to see my knife? Or like, he was the first kid we went drinking with. Like his dad was always drunk, so we would just drink at his place. And I mean, young age, dumb shit. And he's the one who had like 3 different paintball guns and the fucking paint grenades. And
too far.
This kid wanted to have a Roman candle fight in his backyard.
Were you big on that, fireworks?
Oh, dude, I'm such a pussy. I was you guys can light that shit off. I'll be over here playing with the lighter.
Fuck that. Yeah,
like I was a little pyro.
Yeah, with the what's the sparklers? Yeah,
yeah.
I'll stick to those. And those little pop rocks. But that was the big thing where it's like your parents like instill the fear of God into you because you're like, oh, you're gonna blow your hand off with an M80. But
yeah, you don't want to be the kid in the emergency room on Halloween when everybody else is eating candy.
Yeah.
Do you have like a hidden candy you like that maybe doesn't get as much respect as you'd like it to see?
That's a good question. I mean, my #1 I would say is probably I'm a big Kit Kat guy.
Okay.
You a Kit Kat?
I mean, of course.
Yeah.
Liking Kit Kat though, it's like liking the Yankees.
Yeah.
Maybe not
so?
the Yankees. No, it's not the Yankees. I lied.
What's the Yankees? A Reese's? A Snickers?
I think the Yankees isn't just like chocolate, or is that baseball? Could you say just
Yeah.
like the Yankees?
It was
There's
nice.
so much. I should not have used that analogy. That was a bad analogy.
No, I get what you're trying to say. It was nice when you got older. They started making those individual like Sour Patch and like the Swedish Fish.
The Niners. Kit Kats are like the Niners.
The Kit Kats
Okay,
like the
sorry.
Niners. No, it's all right. I would say like those were nice. That was a nice wrinkle. The worst was the pretzels were bad.
Yeah. Wax candies.
Yeah, those were bad.
Like the wax bottle with like the little liquid you gotta suck
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Who wants those? What was always funny was the myth that like people would give you like candy with razor blades in them.
Oh, yeah, you get real scared. Well, now the big myth is people are like, oh, don't, someone could be giving you edibles or THC.
CBD.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, who the fuck's doing that?
I mean, that's the most economically dumb fucking move. Who wants to get a bunch of 12-year-olds stoned? Fucking loser.
It makes no sense. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of like something that was underrated, but I don't know.
I think dots are underrated.
Dots are underrated
because you can a little bit about like a small box of dots goes a long way, and the same thing goes for Milk Duds. You could really enjoy Milk Duds.
That's a good point. Yeah, I was always Tootsie Rolls are terrible. I'm not a Tootsie Roll. You like Tootsie Rolls?
I had a Tootsie Roll last night before I had a Reese's, and the reason I had the Tootsie Roll before the Reese's is because a Tootsie Roll is a good appetizer if you're gonna have some candy. Like it's a good thing to kind of get the whole mouth.
Sure,
going.
yeah, and you want to save the good thing for last.
Yeah,
it's like the good fry.
Yeah, so it's not the greatest thing, but if you're hungry, you're like, oh, you got a sweet tooth, like. And I only had half the Tootsie Roll. I bit it in half because it just kind of got my palate going for chocolate. So then when I dove into the Reese's, I was ready to go.
Yeah. What would you say? Marry, fuck, kill, Kit Kat, Reese's, Snickers.
I am, and people aren't gonna like me for this, but I'm gonna marry the Snickers.
Okay. No, I don't hate that at all.
And I am going to fuck the Reese's, and I'm gonna kill the Kit Kat. Now people aren't gonna like this, but Kit Kat's like your high school girlfriend. Like, I love Kit Kat, but, like, I'm on to bigger, better things. Snickers you can take anywhere. Snickers is actually the only candy bar that's even remotely crossed into the, like, I'm just having a snack. Like, you don't call candy bars snacks. The only one that gets there is Snickers.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good
And
point.
then Reese's is just, like, when you want a Reese's.
Yeah, and I feel like
the spot.
the thing I don't like about Reese's, I feel like they go bad the fastest. You
Like,
ever
do
have a
freeze
bad
them,
Reese's?
Or do you
I don't freeze them.
I
no.
bet you're real room temperature with your
very,
candy.
very big. Yes, you got that. I can't.
You probably
that.
have like a candy fucking cabinet. Like I can see you being like organized with it.
Yeah, but it's also like if you like a McFlurry, or like a Blizzard, like some things just don't go well. Like people who like M&Ms are disgusting. Like
Crazy.
they're rocks. They're rocks.
Crazy.
And I like
What about,
M&Ms.
Peanut M.
No, I like
You mean in
M&Ms.
a flurry?
Yes, in a flurry, in like a cold setting. Like they're rocks. Like how are you enjoying that?
Yeah.
Like peanut M&Ms at room temperature, M&Ms at room temperature, great. But you fucking get them cold? No, you're eating rocks.
All right, now I want you to marry, fuck, kill. Well, first off, I'm interested. M&M or peanut M&M?
Peanut, for sure.
Okay.
The peanut butter, though, is on another level.
That's above peanut.
I think so, dude.
Okay, so
I avoided them for so long because I was like, why would I want that? It's just like a Reese's Pieces. It is not.
And are you out on Almond Joy?
I was out on Almond Joy. I think as you get older, you start to like them somehow. Like that's a fact.
Yeah, because it's just a unique. You're like, why didn't I like this a little bit more as a kid? Okay, I'm gonna ask you to marry, fuck, kill the following: peanut M&Ms, no peanut butter M&Ms, $100,000, and a Butterfinger.
Oh, that's a great $100,000 is very slept on. So I'll go peanut butter M&Ms. Marry. I will fuck $100,000. I'll kill the Butterfinger. Even though I like Butterfinger too.
Yeah,
you know?
just like I like Kit Kat.
Yeah, they're not
I
bad.
really
yeah.
like Kit Kat, but I did have to kill Kit Kat.
Someone's got to go. Someone's got to go, and we got to go. Speaking of which,
Yes.
so hey, it was fun. It was fun talking to you about movies and candy today, Carl, and shaving cream and eggs. Don't forget about that.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's it for today, everyone. That's the start of Halloween week. So more to come this week. We will catch you next time.